We are off to Zurich now to talk to Cornelia Meyer, former OPEC economist, CEO of Meyer Resource, a macroeconomic advisory firm, regular contributor to us here at Al Jazeera. Lovely to see you, Cornelia. Let me actually throw you a question, first of all, from one of our viewers on Facebook Live who simply asked, and this is Noor, who simply asked, what is Qatar's strategy? Now, maybe we don't know that, but what do you think, economically speaking, should be the strategy from here to minimise the fallout?
Well, I think Qatar's strategy is spot on. I mean, it's very expensive, but Qatar is a very rich country, so it can afford the expense. But the strategy is to reroute the flights. The CEO of the airline of Qatar Airways also said, there are some other destinations we always wanted to bring on, so let's focus on those now. So just focus on that, and to make sure that food can come in from mainly Iran and from Turkey. You even flew in some cows, some pregnant cows, to make sure you can take care of your own dairy means. So essentially, the strategy is what it has to be. Hunker down and let's make sure we can feed people. Let's make sure one can still export LNG. That at this point still works, and as long as the sea lanes keep open, that will work. However, we have seen sort of the bottom feeders coming out, the Japanese Tokyo Electric and some other Japanese importers of LNG have already come and trying to renegotiate for the prices to go down.
Let me read you something which actually one of our guests earlier, David Hurst, said. He was saying, if this carries on, he talked about, quote, an attritional economic war played out through sovereign funds. Do you think that's a possibility as well, that we get this sort of behind-the-scenes economic battle going on?
I think that's already happening, and you see that some of the GCC sovereign wealth funds, non-Qatari sovereign wealth funds, have said, okay, let's sell down some of the Qatari debt that we are holding, let's sell down some of the Qatari equity that we are holding, and that will happen. But then let's not forget the QIA, the Qatar Investment Authority, the Qatar Sovereign Wealth Fund, is worth in excess of about $325 billion. That's a lot of money and has huge investments. If you look at it, they own Harrods, they own the Shard, they're probably one of the biggest landlords in London, where I hail from originally, and so they have big stakes in BMW, in Deutsche Bank, in Credit Suisse. So Qatar is in terms of its immediate food requirements. Yes, the back is to the wall. In terms of its wealth situation, the back is far from being to the wall.
Cornelia Meyer, always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us, for giving us your expertise.